Hey everyone, it's ZaciRoo, and welcome back to part 3 of Caregiver Month. This will be the final installment of the Caregiver Month series. We hope you all enjoyed this mini-series on what it takes to be a caregiver for this community. And also be sure and check out our other videos that we have going up very, very soon, one of which we'll be talking about all about the Little Store and the upcoming summer camp. So sit back and relax and join this final part of Caregiver Month where we talk about how much it takes and how very little it can take to get your little into little space.
Tips for getting people into little space. It actually can sometimes be a lot easier than I think people think. And a lot of people will be like, I have a really hard time too getting into little space, which can actually, it's funny. I love it when people come in and they're like, I have a hard time getting into little space. And then they go into little space in like 2 seconds.
It's wonderful.
Because of what we do. So some ideas or some things that we do are just by smiling, just the way that you look at somebody can really take somebody into little space.
Look approachable, smiling, eye contact.
Yeah, absolutely. Just being like, just looking at them like you are the cutest little thing ever, And that's kind of how we see them, especially when they're in like little outfits. Oh my God, and little onesies and stuff, freaking adorable, and like diapers. Allow yourself as a caregiver to get to that place where you're really enjoying somebody and really looking at someone and being like, that's cute. And being okay with expressing yourself and saying, that's really adorable. You know what I mean? Like also having different types of toys and stuffies and things for them to see, to be surrounded by. That's always, visual. A lot of people are like, just visual things can take, one thing that I love, as you can tell, is glitter. So Zach got me this. It's a phone cover, but on it, it has like glittery little sequins things that are floating around, and that's freaking amazing. And it's just like a little visual cue of just like,
puts you in
can relax.
space.
Yeah, you can relax and like just let go,
And be prepared with different types of toys, because sometimes, most of the time, other ages can come out. We found that.
So true. And it's unexpected. You never know what's going to happen.
So
but
be prepared.
It goes back to that no judgment thing of
exactly. Be open, be prepared.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Sound. So talking about little things. Like, Boo, your go-to is stuffies.
Stuffies, it opens up so much communication. And, I think we've all had at least one stuffy in our life that was our best friend, that carried us through an awful day, that got us through a scary night. And stuffies is a huge way to connect, and it's a huge way to connect littles to littles. So any kind of stuffy talk, show me your stuffy, or here, look at Mommy Boo's stuffies, which one's your favorite? What stuffies in your life have, been your besties? That's huge.
It also allows people who are a little bit shy to start talking.
Show us, like, how do you like to be treated, or what do you want? Can you show us on your stuff? Like, of course, non-kink. But just show us, like, hug your stuffy, or do you want to play dress up? Or does your stuffy want to sit and have some num-nums with us?
All kinds of stuffies are amazing.
We'll change your stuffy's diaper.
That's true. Put a little diaper on them. Soothing voices do wonders. Absolutely. Music. We're usually playing nursery music.
Smells.
And sight also going to,
going
back
that's different.
to.
Okay, this is
No.
sound.
Yeah, we can throw.
Yeah.
But we also are always having cartoons running in the background.
Yes.
Cartoons are amazing.
And that can help as mommies, our knees, or maybe that day we're feeling tired. That's always snuggle time. It's things that you can be a caregiver and do things like that, like story time, snuggle time. And those things can be easier on our physical bodies too. It doesn't have to be all this running around up, down, and all that.
No,
so
absolutely.
Know yourself and know ways to be like self-care with your physical limits, because it can still work wonderfully. Mm-hmm. So
another thing we do, baby wipes, baby powder, those those smells can totally take somebody into little space. Dreft, we wash everything in Dreft.
Everything.
So it
After
smells...
every session, everything gets washed, everything that was touched, anything.
So it smells like babies in here. Good
smells so good.
Good smells.
I love it.
Touch. Also, playing with age-appropriate items is very, very important. Snuggles, and the number one thing to get somebody into little space is Zerbets when you give them raspberries on their tummies.
And clean mommies and clean babies for snuggling is really big. We owe it to these littles to be clean, to either have no smell or a soothing smell, which we check ahead of time. Are there any smells you don't like or trigger smells? And that's just as important both ways, that the little is fresh and that we're fresh.
Yes.
Of course there's diaper changes. Of course little have accidents. But, that's a good communication thing, is whatever you have decided between y'all and following that. So, maybe a little wants to come in and have a bath, and that's okay, but, come in respectful. And that's the way we always are too. And we even check each other. So it's super important.
So keeping littles in little space. It's super important to have age-appropriate toys and material. So having stuff that's for, like if they're 3, having stuff that's 3 years old, and not having stuff that's too adult. It's super important to respect the non-sexual little space play. And so like sometimes if you are, something that they're doing is maybe like kind of, turning you on a little bit, and you kind of maybe want to start getting a little kinky, it's important to respect that they might not, and that they are little. So you really treat them as they are 3 years old, and how you would interact with a 3-year-old. Sometimes that's difficult. I'm not going to lie to you, especially coming from me with like being kink-based, like seeing someone in like cute little snuggie and whatever, and they're just freaking adorable and whatever. I just want to like do all kinds of things, but I can't because they're little. And again, coming back to that whole idea of like them being little, even if they may say to you, yeah, let's do that or whatever, they're little, and you can very easily mess somebody's psyche up, and they can become re-traumatized if you...
They might have been sexualized or abused growing up, and that might have been attention or abusive or however it was, and we want to make sure we don't feed that cycle.
Yeah, it goes to the whole doing no harm.
Yeah.
Because again, like you were saying, like if someone was sexualized as a little, that might just be their way of being little, and that can be
thinking that that's the attention that is okay.
And that can be super confusing for both them and for us as caregivers. Another thing to keep them in little space is bonding. So doing physical care, like you mentioned before, bathing, doing grooming, because a lot of littles growing up didn't have that. They don't know how to really do self-care properly. So, we have a lot of littles who, just don't know how to do that. So even something as simple as like the bath, or like
with
brushing
toys,
someone's hair.
Bath toys are great. We do bath art, the bath crowns.
Oh, bath art.
And that's great. That can help get things comfortable if the baby's shy in the tub. The cute colored little safe water things, safe bubbles. All those, and again, for the caregiver's knees, we have like a knee mat, or we can sit on the toilet, not using it, but sitting on it next to the tub, so you can still be in that space, but not, wear out yourself physically too much. So again, there are ways. It's just kind of thinking outside the box sometimes.
And physical touch, of course, continuing physical touch, hugs, and just little
compliments.
Yeah, little
physical
cute,
touch. Yes,
cute little like pinches and stuff like textures.
Soft textures.
Yes, soft textures. But bonding, just eye contact, physical care, touch, things like that. That what's really helped actually is learning about foster kids and attachment, and how sometimes people never develop that attachment or the ability to attach, and what you can do with kids like that. It's
attachment is huge, and that would be a good thing to look at also. with that.
Getting down onto a little's level and just having that kind of
safe attachment,
that
accepting.
eye contact, and just that connection, I think, can really do. Because a lot of people are so focused on themselves all the time. We all are. That people and people's littles just need that attention, and knowing that someone is like looking directly into your eyes, you know that they are there with you, and so that really hits something with littles, with everybody, really, I think. So some of the unintentional responses that sometimes happens, and which can be very, very confusing for everyone involved, are physical reactions that we have. Like, so when you're diaper changing, sometimes littles can get erections. Does that mean that they're turned on? Sometimes it does, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just a physical reaction, and that happens in humans. That happens in kids, in actual children when you're changing diapers. Just, it happens. Also, during cuddle time, it can just feel really good to be cuddling with someone, and that can just trigger an erection too. And what do you do in those cases? You know, sometimes as an adult, you just, if it's your partner, if it's a sexual partner, you can become turned on by that too. But you also have to kind of recognize, like you were mentioning before, if that person is a survivor of sexual trauma, like, is that necessarily what's appropriate in that space? And a lot of times when stuff like that happens with us, because everybody knows coming in that we're non-sexual.
Like it's a trauma response that the littles are having.
When people come in, they know, and then they're very afraid because they're like, oh my God, you guys are going to kick me out because this is happening, but I'm really not meaning for this to happen. We really just kind of are like,
we are physical beings.
Yes, and that's fine. And we just kind of ignore it and move on. .com, .org, .aol. It's something, that you don't really focus on, because there's no need to focus on it. It's just like, whatever. You do what you can, and you move on. And you don't call too much attention to it. You don't say like, oh my God, you don't have to, because we are all adults. We can handle that stuff.
Yep, they are not just worthy for their sexual parts.
Yeah. So that's really important. But that all being said, if you are uncomfortable and something is taken too far, call yellow, call red, and get yourself out of it.
And that's okay. Self-care.
Yeah, self-care. You are, again, we're all adults, and people, even though, I mean, a lot of times, again, I was going to mention this, when people are in little space, we also let them know, like, if we're doing a cuddle session and we're in the crib, a lot of times when you're little, you just hold on. And so sometimes you can get like grabbed in ways, and you can totally tell it's not in a sexual way. It's just in like a little kid way. That's going to happen too sometimes, but it's important to also have that communication and to kind of know what to do in those. You just roll with it and continue on. So all this said, and all this, I hope we didn't like scare anybody into like, you're responsible for everything.
We just tried to just have an open discussion.
Yeah, everybody's responsible for themselves at the end of the day.
Yes.
But why we do it, and we kind of touched upon this, is it is freaking rewarding as
the most rewarding.
Like having that cuddle time, having the endorphins released.
We live for it.
Holy crap. We didn't realize, I think we all knew going into this that we really enjoyed it, but when COVID hit and we weren't able to hang out with our littles and get that kind of that love in, oh my God, that was so difficult. We all went through withdrawals, and we're like,
I miss it so much.
Oh my God.
I knew I would miss it, but...
So yeah, for those of you who do, just like the trust building and the connection that you can have with another person, that was another thing too that was really very surprising for me with my littles, or with all littles, like the connection that you can have with another person is amazing. It's a connection on a completely different level than what, your typical...
Yeah, it's not just a session.
Yeah.
I mean, this is deep.
Yeah, exactly. In the caregiver, it's something that you don't have in other relationships. It's like something
the hormones
weird
that get released, the physical endorphins, that they bathe our brain, and it's healing for our brain.
And I think it could be different too, because you have kids. I don't have children. And I think that, I mean, that might be the closest thing that I can understand.
It's
like
the
that,
same feeling,
it's
and it's the
biological thing.
Yeah,
of just like
it's the same feeling like that I have in my heart. Like when I have a little so excited because they accomplished a task maybe that they'd wanted to do and had been shy. It's that same feeling of like when I put the little's art on the refrigerator, it's the same feeling I get with my kiddos.
Do that, yeah, just do that. We have art all over the place because we love it. We love it when people draw and stuff, and doing that can really make a little's day too, just by doing stuff that like you did when you were a kid, putting stuff on
like,
the.
I might be having a bad day, and I just think of it, and it's like makes me feel so much better.
Do, yeah. Like, and I don't know. Like we have little stuff on that I never want to take down. It's just so funny, and it's funny because you have it like. From little crayon scribbles to like this really amazing artwork that Little's have done. It's so
sometimes we don't want to clean the art off the tub.
I know.
Because the little baby drew so many cool stuff, and just knowing that we're helping someone in such a unique way.
Caregivers are needed in this community, and again, one of the things that we really want to do is try and get rid of these ideas of what it is and what.
And the stigmas.
And the stigma, because it is so amazing. It is so completely rewarding when you can allow for someone to be vulnerable and to heal and to be given this opportunity to truly be themselves. Yeah. It's so awesome. Like,
well put, Mommy Black.
Oh, thank you, Mommy. Mm-hmm. That was the end of our spiel.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Next month is going to be, West Coast Jungle Gym, the Jungle Academy is going to be doing little stuff and big stuff every month. But June is Dark Age Play. And then in Dark Age Play is more about like, it's more about the
I won't be there for that one. But March mental health, I'll definitely be there.
We're gonna be heading that one up. But
we want to know what you liked out of this, what you got from it, what you didn't, got questions. So please let us know.
And with that being said, folks, that is a wrap for Caregiver Month. We hope you all enjoyed this series. Be sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe to this channel. That way you won't miss any future uploads for the Little Baby Nursery. Also check out our little store, which we have a ton of really cool stuff going on sale. The mommy made packages and all the diapers you could ever want ever. Thank you again for watching. Have a fantastic day. And from everyone from the Little Baby Nursery, we'll see you next time.